Let's talk about the $25 billion settlement. The drop the charges settlement that the Obama administration arranged with the crookedest, most criminal banksters in human history. $25 billion in fines, and then trillions of dollars in bailouts during a period when these gangster banksters were laundering enormous, gargantuan, immense sums of money for narcotics traffickers, the cartels, the terrorists of the world, the extortioners of the world, and the human traffickers. $25 billion shakedown, $25 billion payoff to the Obama administration of Holder and Lynch and Eric Schneiderman. And Timothy Geithner and Ben Bernanke and Hank Snow and Janet Yellen printed up out of the thin air trillions from the Imagineering money creators over at the Federal Reserve. So who paid the fines again? Who paid for that settlement? Was it the gangster bankster criminals in bed with Select Portfolio Services, JP Morgan Chase, Credit Suisse, Deutsche Bank, Superior Bank, Wachovia, Wells Fargo, Citibank, Bank of New York Mellon? I go all day long from WAMU to Taylor, Bean, and Whitaker. Again, who paid, and did they actually pay, the $25 billion settle it out of court shakedown that the Justice Department and the FBI under Barack Obama, and I mean it too, Mr. Obama and Mrs. Obama and Bill and Hillary Clinton, the $25 billion joke was paid for by who again? Would that be the TARP bailout of trillions? They bailed out the international banking system for trillions, and the gangster bankster criminals, the worst criminals in human history, paid a paltry, measly, minuscule $25 billion. Now, I don't know what high school you went to, Barack Obama and Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, and I'm going to bring this right down to Donald J. Trump and to Maxine Waters of the House Financial Services Committee with Adam Schiff and Patrick McHenry. Let's not be, subpoenaing Deutsche Bank's records on Donald Trump. Let's take a hard, cold, critical, deep look into exactly how this joke, this $25 billion racket, actually was paid for. And who paid for it, precisely? Now, Maxine Waters, I'm from New York, like old Donald Mafia Don Trump. I'm from New York too, and I actually I paid attention in those algebra classes. Let's tell the truth. Maxine Waters, Adam Schiff, Patrick McHenry, Christopher Wray over at FBI, and William Barr, the current Attorney General of the United States. And let's bring, the Senate Banking Committee and the Congressional Banking Committee into the discussion. How is it precisely that these mega money laundering banks, how is it that they funded the loans again, and how is it that they funded the penalties and the settlement? How they pay the settlement with all that stolen money? Did they pay the $25 billion from the trillions that they stuffed in their pockets? Barack Obama? I'm going to close this one out. There's all kinds of information links below where you can examine the hard, cold facts. But let's get to the bottom exactly. Maxine Waters, the Democratic Party that wants to, subpoena Donald Trump's Deutsche Bank records. Why don't we just subpoena Deutsche Bank and ask them how it is that they paid the billions of dollars in fines and settlement that Barry Dunham, Soentoro, Barack Hussein Obama, Eric Schneiderman, and Eric Holder, and Loretta Lynch. How'd they pay that fine again? America, this government that, they just got slapped down in the Mueller investigation, apparently. There's no proof of any Russian collusion. They went on for 2 years over Donald Trump and the Russians, right? Well, I think America needs to be told the truth, and all of the records and all of the files and all of the reports at FinCEN. Hello, FinCEN. That's the U.S. Treasury, U.S. Marshals, the Secret Service, if you will. U.S. Secret Service, FBI, Department of Justice, FHA, HUD, Federal Housing Finance Administration, Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, the Securities Exchange Commission, and the IRS. How is it precisely exactly these bankster gangsters in the mortgage business, these criminals in the mortgage business, how is it that they're entitled to make loans in the first place when they're criminals? We got a bunch of criminals running the banking system. And then, of course, the United States, that'd be the Federal Reserve, prints up endless amounts of trillions and bails them all out to keep right on engaging in the mortgage business. Now, when is this nightmare going to be over, Donald Trump? And Mr. Pence and Mr. Christopher Wray and Mr. William Barr, let's release to the American public all the records and the files and the reports and the investigations on these out-of-control criminals, the gangster banksters. Folks, I'm going to leave it right there. And as always, Select Portfolio Services, Fairbanks Capital, up there in Salt Lake City. You're the biggest whores of all. You're the big whores, right? Up there with old Tommy Basmajian and let's see, Credit Suisse. Yeah. Folks, as always, hasta la vista. God bless, and you can betcha we will be back.